We got you for 15 minutes. 15 minutes of playtime. F this movie, reserved seating starts right now. I forgot that
It's playtime, baby.
yeah. So this is 1967. Yeah.
67.
67 Jacques Tati
Tati.
magnum opus.
Yes.
Yeah.
70 millimeter Magnum French Opus.
This
Playtime.
was like his Heaven's Gate,
It
like
was.
where he just kind of decided to go all out, spend a ton of money. It was one of the most expensive, or maybe the most expensive French film ever made at the time. I know of Jacques Tati from two movies leading up to Playtime. Um, Mr. Hulot's Holiday,
Mhm.
which is delightful, and I compared to Mr. Bean. Tati plays Hulot in Playtime,
Yep.
but he's more of like a secondary character. And then I would highly recommend posthumously they Sylvain Chomet of the Triplets of Belleville
Okay.
directed a movie called The Illusionist in 2010, which is an animated film. It's amazing, and it uses an filmed Jacques Tati screenplay.
Oh,
And that movie it'll choke you up. It's beautiful. Playtime, I want to get your take on it, but I can summarize my take on it partially
yeah.
in Roger Ebert's Great Movies review, saying that the best preparation for watching Playtime is to watch Playtime for a first time the whole way through. And then the second time is when you're going to really get Playtime.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what did you think of Playtime, Rob?
Yeah. I mean, I was just watching it, like, and I was just thinking to myself, like, good bits. I like these bits. These are funny bits. This is good, you know?
Yeah.
No, it's beautiful. It's got this great look to it. Obviously, I mean we talked about the sort of the budget and everything and how Tati goes like all out, sells the rights to all of his projects and I think like puts another mortgage on his house or something like that to get the money
Mhm.
to put this thing together, build these gigantic sort of, you know, sort of antiseptic looking sets that are just this sort of cold, all the glass and the sort of brutalist architecture and all that. And it's great. All these little skits. I mean, it's like a hangout movie. You know what I mean? Which is so fun. It's this sort of
Yeah.
obviously this sort of cultural satire and this sort of bleak. I've been. It's really funny because I've been teaching a lot of like Ray Bradbury and Philip K. Dick in my philosophy class lately. We've been reading a lot of like short stories by those authors, and this kind of like feels like an extension of that, where it's that sort of super, especially like Bradbury story. Like it's that very very sort of bleak, sort of ironic social commentary where it's like
Mhm.
imagine a world where everything is like this, and how could you even possibly convey any kind of personality in this world. And but no, for the most part I really enjoyed it. I thought, I mean, I can see why it's on this list. I can see why it's renowned. I can see why Tati is like this visionary, and obviously there's a lot of stuff in it. I was thinking of Severance a lot. Obviously I feel like the
Yeah.
people who make Severance have seen this movie. And honestly the scariest thing for me was the very famous scene with all the workspaces, cubicles. I
Oh,
couldn't
cubicles.
couldn't
Okay.
think of the word cubicle. Sorry. And obviously, what he's trying to say is sort of this sort of cold inhumanity. But I kept watching it, going, I could work there. I could.
The cubicle days were like kind of nice compared to what I mean, I work from home mainly now compared to in an office. But I did work in an office for the better part of 15 years. And by the time that we moved out of office, we were at like just long tables basically,
Mhm.
where like three of us had workstations, and it
Right.
was all about like mobility and having like your desk being coined like a hotel desk, which is like anybody can use it, and it's like there's no personalization, and the cubicle that you used to have doesn't belong to you anymore, and everything like that. So it's yeah, cubicle nostalgia from the
Yeah.
60s. I was struggling the first hour of the movie.
Sure.
I think it's so different than Hulot's Holiday. It's got like this artisanal stamp on it that I wasn't expecting because like Hilo's holiday is very like humanistic, and it's basically like, what if I tried to get a towel on a beach and stuff like that? And it's like that's like a whole bit. And this is just about city planning
Yeah,
and like I mean the scope of it is just huge and there's no main character necessarily and you kind of have to you have to get your bearings that like even in the opening scene you're not in a hospital, you're like in an airport
yeah.
and just based off of the conversation and the way that it looks. So I was discombobulated for a while and I was sort of really hoping for more close-ups or two-person shots or things like that because everything is kind of
Everything is
pulled
real wide.
back.
Yeah,
Everything is really wide, pulled back. This movie is like very popular among like 70 millimeter
yeah.
festivals.
I
So
mean,
like I think that would be an amazing way to see
it's
it.
wide.
Um, but the thing that really kind of made me turn positively on the movie is the whole stuff in the restaurant is just like it just builds and builds and builds and it turns into this like cacophony of like silliness
Mhm.
and I love there's so many good bits and then by the end of it it's just like they're all kind of playing off of each other like
Mhm.
especially like how the glass door breaks and the guy's just holding the door handle
Door
and
handle.
because that's his function in
It's his job.
society
Yeah,
and without it he has nothing.
yeah.
So he's pantomiming that he's holding a glass door that doesn't exist. And there's just like people jumping in to play piano, and then there's a like a house band, but then like the ceiling's falling apart and things like that. So it's just it's the grand opening of this like hip restaurant and just seeing it all like go to shit, but
But like
everyone's
nothing's
having a
done
great
yet.
time.
Like in the
Yeah,
kitchen, there's still like drywall that's not been finished and all that. It's so funny. But it just speaks to, of course, his point, which is like, we're trying to modernize Paris in this haphazard way and all that, and we're forgetting our humanity and
yeah,
all those things.
yeah, and all the landmarks you only see like as reflections in doors and things like that.
And like the humor is in like the buzz of a neon sign or like little things like that where you're like you're picking up what he's putting down, but he's putting it down for so long that you kind of start to it does that thing where it starts to crack you, where you're kind of like, oh, like he's exaggerating this for emphasis, and it's just so funny. Like I just
Yeah,
there's so much in this that's really funny.
yeah, the funniest bit for me, other than the stuff in the restaurant, was the silent doors that you could the
Yeah,
silent slamming doors.
golden silence or
Yeah,
whatever.
slam your doors in golden silence.
Yeah. Or
So
the broom that's got the headlights on it is really funny too. I like all.
yeah, it's one of those movies where it really, really grew on me like as it went along. It's one of the reasons why I decided to stop doing star ratings on Letterboxd because I was watching it and I was just like halfway through it, I'm like 2.5, and
Yeah.
then I'm just like 3, and then by the end of it, I'm like 3.5, and then by the time they're doing like the turnabout with like all the
Mhm.
cars and stuff
Yeah.
at the end, I'm like, I'm gonna miss this when it's over.
Yeah.
Like I want to live in this world even longer.
Totally.
And so it's just like, yeah, whatever. It's just what Ebert said. It's like you gotta experience it first kind of get your bearings with it, and then like probably it will reward even more on subsequent viewings.
Totally.
I don't know if this is one of like Tati's themes or if it was just what I drew from the movie, but I was comparing like the first half of it where it was all about function and about like society and like streamlining things. And then the second half of it is almost like this rallying cry for
Peak.
like community and just like everything being better when it's a mess and not going according to plan. And when like everything like and then when the modernity of it all, like when this shit hits the fan, like it's almost like we have more
Like
fun.
an exhale. It's like a relief. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
thank God. Like we don't have to pretend anymore.
Yeah,
So much
exactly.
fun.
Yeah. This is wrapping up the Sight and Sound themed month for
Yes.
Rob Month
Rob.
at F This Movie Presents Reserved Seating. Where would you rank from least favorite to favorite of the four movies that we
Yeah,
went
let's do. So what did we watch? We watched Playtime, we watched Johnny Guitar, we watched
out
uh
of the past
Out of the Past, and we
and The
watched
Conformist?
Conformist. Okay, so yeah, so I'll go Conformist for Out of the past three, Playtime 2, Johnny Guitar 1.
Okay, I'll go Conformist 4, Johnny Guitar 3, out of the past, or excuse me, Playtime 2, out of the past one.
Nice. Cool. Yeah.
So, but yeah, three. I really enjoyed three out of the four movies, and I'm glad that I saw all of them. And the music box is showing Persona, which is another Sight and Sound movie, so
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out because I've never seen it.
Oh
So,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a great
yeah.
one. But what is next week?
Next week is what I think is both of our favorite movies so far this
So far
year.
this year, yeah.
We're eager to talk about EFIS, the Hangout baseball movie.
Um, is this the first time ever that we're like, or at least in a long time that we're reviewing like a new release that's like this feels like this secret that we have, like that we want to like put out.
Yeah,
It's so much
it's not like we're deciding, oh, like we should, this is coming out this week, so
fun.
we should talk about it. It's like something that we saw that we really enjoyed that we are haven't really even like dove into together that
No,
we're just like really excited
kind of saving it for
to talk
the
about.
show. But yes,
Yeah. This
between this
was
week and next week, if you can check, honestly, we don't usually do this, but if you can find EFUS, EEPHUS on digital, I know it's out on digital right now.
it's
If
pretty cheap
you're,
to rent too.
yeah, if you're a fan of us or if you're a
Yeah.
fan of baseball, or if you're a fan of both, we really want to promote this because it could use the attention and it's as Adam said, it's our favorite movie of the year so far. So we will talk about that next week.
It is another movie that when it ended, I wish it was gonna keep going just as much as the characters in the movie were
As much as
wishing that it was gonna keep going. So, until next time,
um Tati.
it'd be great if we could do like some kind of like us sitting up and there's a chair cushion sound effect.